Barry Wilson. Yep.
That's me.
Barry. What's up, man?
Not much, man. Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah,
This is
thanks
great.
for coming out.
I'm psyched to be here.
I'm glad you're here.
I appreciate you coming down all the way from Massachusetts into Rhode Island, man. It's cool to have a Massachusetts guy down here. We're been interviewing a lot of local Rhode Island guys, so it'd be cool to touch base with you on maybe some Mass stuff and the general what got you into comedy, all that stuff. So
Sure.
Again, appreciate you coming out.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man. My cat's hanging out. Come here. She wants to get in the shot. Come here.
Oh, man.
You got cats at home, Barry?
I do. I have a cat. I'm a big cat guy.
Yeah, she's probably smelling your cats.
Sweet.
Look at she makes an appearance.
All right.
10 seconds.
Yeah, so I met Barry. Did you meet Barry before the Pump House show?
Me? No, I have not.
All right, so we're coming off the heels of Barry's Pump House show. That's the correct venue, right? Pump House.
Yep.
Okay.
Pump House. Yep.
And I guess it was Wakefield or South Kingstown or where is it exactly?
It's South Kingstown.
We'll call it
Wakefield.
South
It's all
Kingstown.
the same thing in my opinion.
Yeah. So
Whatever.
Yeah, it's whatever you want to call it.
So yeah, we're coming off the heels of that show. Barry was he was funny as shit. And we just got to talking
Thanks.
after the show. Oh, you're welcome. We got talking after the show, and
Here we are.
And here I am.
Yep.
here he is.
Here I'm in Warwick, Rhode Island.
Yeah, which is
God's
funny.
country, baby.
Yeah.
This country.
Yeah. Well, I thought it was funny because I was thinking, when we were at the Pump House, I'll get into that first. It was we met you at the Pump House.
Yep.
Like Rob said, great set, by the way. That was a good venue, good time seeing up
Yeah,
there.
I love that place. It's one of my favorites
Yeah.
in Rhode Island, yeah.
It was like a small, like intimate venue, which is kind of cool. You know what I mean? And I was thinking, because you made the joke about Warwick, and Rob's like, guess where you're going? Warwick to see us.
Oh, yeah,
you
I was
know what
asking, I was like, where do you live?
Yeah, Rob's
Oh,
like,
that's right,
Warwick.
yeah.
He sat right up front.
And everyone started laughing. That was a funny moment.
Yeah, that was good. But,
I feel like I try to do a lot of what comics call cheap heat.
yeah.
Just like,
yeah.
goof on the local
Yeah.
town or towns around where you are. Because
That's a good
people
idea.
like that. And
Yeah.
I think it's a quick way to get the crowd on your side.
Yeah.
And so I figured why not make fun of Warwick? I feel like that's low hanging fruit.
I just thought it was funny. Like, go figure. Like, we're like, Rob, you're like, where are you from? And like, Rob's like, Warwick. And you're like,
When he asked that, I tried to say it like shy, like I was like Warwick.
Yeah, actually, you kind of helped me out by saying that. I crowd thought that was pretty funny.
It was so funny.
You sounded so dejected.
yeah, like, yeah, I live in Warwick.
Yeah.
It's just like the truth hurts, I guess.
But no, that place is a lot of fun. I like the Pump House a
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah.
That was a good show. My friend
was.
Steph White was on the show. I think you guys know Steph. You know
Yep.
Steph? Yeah.
Yep. She's great, hilarious.
Mike Murray headlined that one.
That was.
He's a good dude. Yeah.
That was the first time I saw him. That wasn't.
Yeah, Mike's
funny,
funny.
dude. That
So
was
I didn't get to
hilarious.
catch Mike.
Yeah.
I had to leave, sadly, prematurely, right before he went on during the break.
Dad
But
life.
if it's cool bringing this up, I heard some guy had his ass out. on that show.
So
Who was that? Was that a crowd guy or was it a comic?
Yeah, Poppy brought some guy up on stage. I think he was part of a group that she knew. She knew
I
somebody.
don't know. Yeah,
Or at least it seemed like she knew somebody
'Cause I
from the
heard that.
group.
Yeah.
And then I think he thought he was like funny or something, or his friends did. Somehow he managed to get his way up on stage to where he like. I think you guys talked about this last week. He deep throated the mic for a sec.
Yeah, he put his mouth.
Touched
on
his
on
it.
it,
mouth
but we
on
want
it,
to
that's
hear
right.
from you guys. From you.
He put his mouth on the mic
Yeah.
as if it were a penis.
Yeah.
And then I think he tried to tell some jokes that obviously weren't funny because he wasn't a comedian.
Yeah.
And then for his magnum opus, he mooned the crowd.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Much for everyone's dismay, it was the biggest, darkest ass crack I had seen.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Like it was so like light couldn't escape its surface. It was so dark.
It was like a black hole.
It was. It was
really.
pretty
Yeah.
disgusting. And I don't
Light
think it
couldn't
had been
escape.
cleaned in a while.
That's funny. Yeah. That was.
Yeah. So you missed that. Unfortunately, bummer for you.
Yeah, dude.
No pun intended.
Yeah.
That was yeah, that was crazy. Guy puts his mouth on the mic, and then Poppy was like, "All right, up," and then he's like, "I'm getting off now," and pulls his ass down, and pulls his ass. Up.
Mike was like, 'cause I was in the other room, and like
Yeah.
Mike looked at me like, "Who the fuck is this guy?"
yeah, he's not on the bill,
And I'm
right?
like, but yeah, that was something. That was a Pump House first, I think.
Yes, yeah, that was a good show. Everyone killed
was good.
That was, you know what I mean? How? So they gave you guys a couple minutes, right? I feel like
You only get like 7 minutes.
yeah,
And which I knew, But I did feel like it went quick. Like when she lit
Dude,
me up,
yeah.
I was like, "Oh shit, I'm done."
Yeah, it goes
Fuck.
fast.
So I had to like just jump to like something.
Yeah. Yeah, quick last.
Yeah. So it was, but yeah, it was a good show anyway, regardless of like if I felt like I had to rush things. But it's always fun there.
Have you ever performed with Funny for Funds before?
Oh yeah, a bunch of times.
I thought I saw you on there. 'Cause I was gonna say.
I've done quite a few shows with Funny for Funds.
So you know Mike Murray then?
I know Mike Murray. I know Bill Simus, a great
Bill
dude.
Simus
I
is
appreciate
fucking
him a
funny,
lot
dude.
for the stage time that he's given me. And Funny for Funds is just great. The shows are so fun.
Yeah, I love what they're doing.
The people are great. Right. It's a great cause, and
Yeah.
I have a lot of fun doing shows with them.
Because I was gonna say Mike Murray. Rob didn't catch him because he had to leave. But dude, honestly, that guy was so funny, and I didn't realize I somehow I figured out at that show that he's the one that like runs Funny for Funds with Bill Simus. I'm
Right,
like, no way.
Yeah.
And then I won't stay out too much longer. But I just want to say, dude, I respect the hell out of those guys for that because I think it's so awesome they do it. I've seen my friend Kyle Cody for a couple shows.
Yeah, he's done a
there.
couple. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I respect it. Good show. Mike Murray's hilarious. You did a great job. I loved your Warwick joke. You know what I mean? So yeah, man, definitely freaking. I'm performing there in June 14th. So I'm
That's
looking
right.
forward
You're gonna
to
be
it.
at the Pump House.
Yeah,
you man.
Looking forward to it. That was the first time I met
Look at
Poppy
you.
too.
Nice.
Yeah, she's a character.
Dude, she's a
She's
ball
awesome.
of energy. I like it. Brings the gets the crowd going. You know what I mean? Which is important. So, but oh my cat.
I think she forgets who I am every time I'm there.
Should we have Barry? Barry, who's this? This first time here.
Whenever I
Barry?
walk in, she's like, I think I know
Which
you.
one are you again?
Yeah.
But then again, you know, you're the guy with the double sleeves, hand tattoos. You know, I'd be like, hey, I remember that guy. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I guess she doesn't. That's okay. She's
Yeah, she's
a
great.
person.
I'm very thankful she put me on the show.
Yeah, it's
too.
awesome, man.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
But so I guess kind of going to my usual question I always ask. So, what got you into comedy? And I guess you could say why'd you do it? What got you into it? If you kind of just want to bring us to the beginning.
Yeah, I was into stand-up comedy like at a super young age. I remember, I don't know if you probably won't, but I used to watch. It was called Stand Up Spotlight on the USA channel. It used to be. It was a VH1 show back in like the late '80s, early '90s, and then it got syndicated to the USA Network. And I remember it was like, I don't know, I was probably like 10 or 11 years old watching that at like night when my parents would be out drinking. I'd just be like home laying on the living room floor at like 10:30 at night watching Stand Up Spotlight hosted by Rosie O'Donnell. And it was like, obviously I was a young kid. I wasn't understanding probably 90% of the jokes, but I just liked it. I liked the idea of people being up on stage and people laughing at it. And I like to do that in school.
Yeah.
Like I used to like making people laugh, and I was a pretty quiet kid, and I don't really like attention, but I did like making people laugh. But I was never like the class clown.
Yeah.
But I liked that. So I think I always had this, I liked stand-up comedy thing since I was young. But then once I got older, I would go to stand-up. I would go to the Comedy Connection in Providence, and I'd go to Nick's Comedy Stop, and it was at the Maui in Brockton. And so I'd go to see stand-up comedy. I liked it, but I just didn't have the guts to commit to it. Like I was like, I want to do that, but I was really just too afraid because I don't like talking to people. I don't like crowds, and so I wanted to do it but never did it. And then I kept talking about it for a long time, and then finally, I worked nights for a long time, so it was gonna be tough to even hit mics when you're working 3 to 11 every night.
Yeah.
So I ended up switching to a day shift, and a friend of mine was like, I'm sick of you talking about you want to do comedy all the time. She was like, just fucking do it.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh yeah, sure. And she's like, you're not gonna do it. I know you won't. So she looked it up and found an open mic. It was SQ in Providence.
Yeah,
that was my very first one. She's like, here's one. Go do this.
Yep.
So I did, and it was not great. It was not great. But I didn't do that great because I didn't know what the hell I was doing.
Yeah.
So I'm like really going on a rant here.
Nice.
I didn't know what I was doing, but no one else did either. I know it was 20 other comics, and some of them who I think are really funny. Who I know who they are now.
Yeah.
But like they didn't get any laughs either.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, if they have been doing this for years and kind of sucked, and I kind of sucked, well then like we're on the same plane here. So that's kind of what got me into it. I tried an open mic. I did just as bad as everybody else, and was like, I think I can do this. So that was like how I got into it.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Just went for the dive.
I went for the dive, and it was fucking terrible.
That's cool. So you popped the TV on, and that was your first exposure. Was that old VH1?
That was it.
Rosie O'Donnell.
Rosie O'Donnell in like 1993.
How'd you get to comedy? Rosie O'Donnell.
But honestly, yeah, it's like weird as it is. That's kind of what it was.
Hey,
It was
whatever.
stand-up spotlight with Rosie
Yeah.
O'Donnell. That's what got me into it.
So I never seen any of that, any of those. Before.
I don't think anybody really. It's like a fever dream. I think I might have been the only person who ever watched it.
I'll have to check that out. But what for me personally is kind of a little bit similar. Is the first bouts of stand-up I saw was back Comedy Central used to have Comedy Central Presents.
Okay.
You remember that?
That sounds familiar. Yeah, I probably did.
So this is think back like it was probably hot around like 2006, 2007.
Okay. Go way back.
I mean, we're talking like Dane Cook and his acidy spit on the subway
Oh, Jesus,
when he was like, I don't know what the internet has against the guy. I thought he was funny.
Yeah.
Growing up,
Yeah.
But I mean Pablo Francisco.
Oh
was over
yeah,
there.
I remember him.
Oh my God, Brian Regan. I first saw him.
Yes.
He was making
Brian Regan was so funny.
This is I'm getting fat clothes or whatever. But
Right.
Comedy
Yeah.
Central Presents it had a slew of these comedians that ended up being super famous, but
Right.
some of that was their first bits. So I thought that's when I first got into comedy. I thought it was really
Yeah.
I like to draw that comparison.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think, I know Rob was saying like watching all that stuff. I'm 31, so I grew up watching like stupid things like the roasts, you know what I mean? But back when,
Oh yeah.
dude, any comedians that are watching are going to hate me. I
boy.
totally forgot the original roast master, dude. It's not Jeff
Oh,
Ross.
it was Greg Giraldo, wasn't
yeah,
it?
Greg Giraldo. Yeah.
Oh,
Then
right,
it was
right,
Jeff
right.
Ross.
Right.
So
Yeah, watching that, and then I honestly watching the Chappelle show, and then just watching his stand up, and I was like,
Yeah.
damn, that is funny.
we saw him at
Yeah.
PPAC, me and Matt,
Yeah, that
before
was
we
awesome.
even
Oh, really?
thought
Yeah.
about doing stand-up.
Awesome.
It was a good show too.
Yeah, but I think definitely like seeing it on TV, like if it kind of piques your interest, you know what I mean. But kind of like you, Barry, I think it was always something like you're just gonna stop doing it, just do it. Stop talking, just do it, right? You know
Right.
what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm glad your friend pushed you to do it. I have a friend like that. He watches every so he's gonna hear me, but like this kid, he's funny. He writes down jokes, and he's always like, "Can you tell my jokes for me?" I said, "No." Those are your jokes. You tell
Right.
them. So I'm slowly pushing him to
Yeah,
hopefully
yeah,
do
yeah.
it soon.
Like,
I'm like, dude,
I
just
have a
get it
friend-
done. Even you're gonna love it. You know what I mean? It's gonna change your life. So I'm just glad
For
that
better
you
or for
went to
worse,
that. For better, yeah. Well, so I say like, what does comedy like? How has it been for you? Like, what's your journey been like? Is it something? Is it like helping you like? For me personally, like I said, it's helped with my anxiety and all this other stuff, and it's brought a positive light into my life. Is it kind of like, are you having fun with it? I mean,
Yeah, so I would say it's doing the exact opposite
yeah,
to what it's doing to you.
yeah,
Like it's making you less anxious and you're really enjoying it. Me, I went from not being an anxious person to being very anxious
Yeah.
and hating it a lot. Mm-hmm. I know that's not true. I do like doing it, but like the whole process of like trying to write a joke and then telling it to a crowd and like worrying if it's going to do well or not, it just really stresses you out. It stresses me out. And I know I'm not alone in that. And it just so it does it. It takes a lot out of me. And I think that's probably one of the factors as to why I'm probably not doing a lot of mics like a lot of other people are. One, because I live in like a comedy desert.
yeah.
There's no mics really near me. The closest ones are like 45 minutes away. So those are a little tough to get to on like when you're working. And then also like I only have so much like mental bandwidth. That like basically like if I'm gonna do if I'm gonna take the time to stress myself out to stand in front of a crowd to tell jokes, I'm gonna do it at a show like where I'm getting booked and probably paid versus like in front of 5 people. It's somewhere in like Jerkwater, Rhode Island. In front of, like
Yeah.
And I'm just that's just how I feel. I'm like if I'm gonna do this, like I'd rather do it like when I'm getting booked and just try a joke out than be like, all right, I'm just gonna go to this mic. I wish I could go to mics more.
Yeah.
Especially if I had like guys like you who like seem like you guys seem really chill and like if I had met people like you when I started out. I mean, I'm still very new, but I would have been way more into like going to mics and maybe I wouldn't be as stressed out if I had like other friends.
Yeah.
And I got lucky to meet Brett Davey we talked about earlier about off camera
great guy.
and I got lucky to meet him. I got lucky to meet my friend Andrew Boyle because I was probably going to quit stand-up comedy because of how much it was like stressing me the fuck out and how I wasn't, So to answer your question, I feel like I just really just go on these whole
No, it's
tangents
fine.
when you
No.
ask me questions.
I go on
But
tangents a lot too, so it's all
but
right.
to answer your question, like I don't think it's helped me any. I do enjoy it. I just had to put myself through hell to just get
Yeah.
you get that one laugh, and then you
Yeah,
go, that
right.
night was worth it.
Like, okay, I'm good.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know what
But
I mean?
yeah, it's definitely made my anxiety
More.
like through the roof. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think like I was gonna say, the open mic scene in Rhode Island's definitely pretty busy.
Yeah.
For sure. You can definitely hit a lot. Just a sidebar, like if you ever wanted to do an open mic, me and Rob, we're more than happy to, we could be happy to have you put your name down ahead of time, or if we do one of the sign up go up, so you could put like Kinsman, we could sign you up ahead of time if you ever want to do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I definitely think it helps to have people to go with, because
Definitely.
me personally, I went to Touchdown to the first open mic I ever did after I graduated Parada's comedy class, and dude, it was nerve wracking. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
I'm so thankful that I got Rob to go with me. You know what I mean? And yeah, it definitely helps to have a group of people, man. You know what I mean? For sure.
It's like going to the gym with somebody and you're like all about it, and they stop going. You're like, fuck this.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
I don't think that would happen
If you're
now.
doing
but,
the mic together, you guys can all like suffer together. It's
Yeah.
like being
accountability. Yeah.
yeah, it's like being trapped in a mine. Like you're all in it together, no matter how bad it is. Like you're either all gonna make it or you'll all die together. But like at least you did it together.
Yeah, right.
When you're going by yourself, which I did for the first few months of getting into comedy, like. I'm driving an hour to Worcester to go to some fucking mic on a Monday night in front of 5 people. And it's like, and I get that's how it is. And then you go there, and then like these people, they just look at you like you're a fucking idiot. Because I am. I'm not saying they're wrong for looking at me that way.
man.
But then like I would try to like after I would do my stupid 5-minute routine that wasn't funny, I would try to introduce myself to people. I didn't know anybody in the scene, so I'm like, hey, how's it going?
The thing to
Smart.
do, I would imagine.
Yeah, that was great. And they'd just be like, hey man, and they like had no interest in talking to me.
Yeah.
Like I did a mic. It was my second one ever at this place called Rick's in Woonsocket. And I talked to you about this at the Pump House.
Yeah.
And I did my little friggin' spiel, whatever, a couple of chuckles maybe, that was it. And then at the end, I went up to some comics that were sitting in the corner at a table just to introduce myself, and they couldn't give a shit about me.
Really?
Like they just like barely looked at me. And one of the comics is like, he's kind of like a bigger name in the Rhode Island scene. If I said his name, you would know who he was.
Yeah.
And he kind of like side-eyed me and was just like, hey, what's up? And like kind of half-hearted, like shook my hand.
Yeah.
And a friend of his that was with him looked at me and said, you know what? Here's such and such mic. I forget where it was. He's like, there's some mic in some town and some night. He's like, you might want to go there.
That's
Because like
tough, man.
that's maybe more your speed. And I'm like, my speed?
Yeah.
I was like, everyone here sucks, including me.
Yeah.
We all were terrible, but yet somehow I'm not good enough. Like that was my experience
That was
starting off in
kind of
comedy.
like, that was your start to it?
That was my start, and I was like this close to. I'm like, why am I even doing this then?
Yeah.
Like,
Well, I mean-
it was a bucket list. I tried
so
it.
sad, man.
People
That's
are
tough.
kind of assholes, but no one's getting checked. You know what I mean? It's that guy who said that to me. No one's ever probably punched him in the face for saying shit like that. So he just feels like he can.
Yeah.
And so stuff like that would bother me. I'm like, someone should just rock him once. And I think he'd be like, oh, you know what? Maybe I shouldn't say that to
Yeah.
comics who are starting out.
Hey, man.
You guys are like really just chill dudes. so
We're trying to welcome everybody.
So that's what I mean. So I guarantee, flip that situation on its ear. I'm at an open mic with you guys. It's one of my first times.
Yeah.
I do my stupid little routine. Whatever. It wasn't that funny. But I go up to you and I say, hey guys, like, what's up? You would be way more receptive to me, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what I think. That's what the scene needs. It needs more
Yeah.
people that don't have like everyone's got like an ego. It seems like everyone thinks they're better than other people. I've been doing it longer. I know more. Don't be like that.
Yeah. Well, dude, we're all in the
That's a
same
crazy
boat.
first step, because I think so. That just means you want it, you really enjoy it, you have a passion. Because I think most people would just be like, all right, well, these
Yeah.
people,
After
fuck
that,
this,
they want
you
to
know?
toss in the towel. Cause call me.
That's discouraging.
Call me a
was.
bitch, but honestly, that would probably deflate me big time. That would like just make me feel like a piece of shit. But at the
It
same
kind of did.
time-
Yeah.
So we didn't have
it
that
did a little bit.
experience.
You kept
I was
going,
like, all
man,
right.
and you kept going, dude, because you wanted to do it, and you can't let other people kind of make you feel that way. At the end of the day, dude, it's like we're all
Having
in the
fun.
same boat. You know what
Well,
I mean?
right. I mean, like we're all amateurs. We're all just
Yeah.
kind of doing it for fun.
Dude,
like
me and Rob aren't, dude. I don't know. Like to be open, like we've only been doing comedy for about 6 months.
A little bit longer.
Yeah, a
but
little bit longer than 6 months.
6 to 8,
Honestly,
we'll
dude, it's
say.
like we're having fun with it, and I think me and Rob both agreed. We're like, we just want to like have fun, and we just want to be positive, because that's how like I'd want to be treated in the comedy world. You know what I mean? know what I
Right.
mean? And like we support each other because, dude, you know, it's just, you know, we're all in the same boat.
No matter what you're doing, you want to be treated with like some respect or some like, you know, like even just fake it. I wouldn't know. Let's
Yeah.
lie to me and be
Yeah.
like, yeah, man, great set.
That's what it is. Everyone's just lying to us.
Yeah,
Faking it.
Which is fine.
Which is fine. It's
Lie to
perfect.
me and just be like, hey, man, yeah, that was a great set. You should come back again. And then when I leave, like, I hope he never fucking comes back again. But I won't know. Like, fucking just lie.
Yeah, it makes
Like,
me
I do it all the time.
Yeah,
Like-
you're like, oh, Chris, oh my God, no.
Yeah, like, whatever. But, like, to be, like, there's just some people that are just assholes.
Yeah,
and
I mean,
and I guess it's like that in all walks of life. But I don't know. I guess.
feel like there's if you call it a click me, whatever. Me,
Oh, yeah,
I'm
there's
just saying,
big- there's clicks.
there's going to be people that, you know, there's always going to be that rude person in every aspect. I skateboard, and that group of people can be very welcoming. Some people can just brush you off. My thing is, like, if you don't want to talk to me or you just want to do your own thing, that's fine. As long as you're not going to talk bad about me or pick on me, that's fine. Like, I just, you know, but luckily I've met a lot of good people, but you just never know. You know, some people just may think that, you know, unfortunately they're the best and they don't need to talk to anybody else. You know what I mean? But hey, man, we're all here just to support everybody and you know, make people laugh. So
And it's different
baby.
now. Like at the time, that was like my second mic ever. I'm trying to make some connections. I didn't even know where mics were yet. So I just kind of like was like, oh, okay. I mean, yeah, if someone said that to me now, I'd be like, fuck you, you fucking bum. Like I wouldn't. I would just like I'd just call him out like for being an asshole. But at the time, I'm trying to get my foot in the door with people, so I'm just kind of like, yeah, I guess I'll just deal with people like that. It's different now, but
yeah, definitely. But what did I say? I know. So with you know, the mics in Rhode Island, you know, we got a couple. But you said you hit those in Mass, right?
So I did. I did one in Worcester. Like I said, was bad. But then, what kind of saved me is when finally a mic started in Kingston, Massachusetts.
Okay.
And that was like 45 minutes away, which that was the closest one yet to me. So I was like, all right.
That's crazy.
But then I was like, because I told you, like my material wasn't very good. I didn't know what I was doing. So I was like, all right, I need to write a new 5 minutes. That's like actual jokes this time. So I worked on a concept that I had, and I was like, all right, I think I got something. So I went to that mic. It was the very first night the mic started. I went, and what was different this time too is it was at like it was in the lounge of this like fucking racquetball club. but there was actual people. It wasn't just like comics. Like, there was comics, but there was also just regular folks hanging out. I was like, well, this is different.
Yeah.
And a couple other comics went up, and they were getting some laughs, and the energy of the room felt different. So I was like, okay, cool. And then I went up, and I slammed. Like the stuff they loved it.
That's
to the point
awesome.
where like people, so like a table of people came up to me after and were like, "Oh my God, that was like really funny," and I was just like, "Holy shit!" Like I couldn't believe that I actually made people laugh and they liked it and like went out of their way to say something. So that was like, it was like a shot of fucking heroin in my spine. It was like, whoa! Like I just had this like
rejuvenated.
It did. It totally was like that's what saved me. And then that's where I met my buddy Andrew. He was there that night, and he was really funny. And he was like, "Hey, you had really good stuff." He's like, "I think we can work on that and make it even better."
Yeah,
and I was like blown away that someone like liked what I did and wanted to work with me and see how we could make it even better. And I got, like I just told you, I hadn't experienced that yet, so it was like I just had this charge of energy. Like I just chased the dragon on that every week. I wanted to make more people laugh and make my jokes better and. That's kind of what kept me going. But that was in Kingston, Mass.
Yeah. Well, I think Rob can, you know, I'll kind of go with Rob on this. Like me personally, like we do a lot of open mics. So when you bomb or you get a crowd that, I don't want to say bomb, but you get a crowd that's not really receptive, or you're getting an open mic and you know, it's a lot of comics. Not everyone's laugh. People are more focused on just getting their set done. All that sort of stuff. I think Rob, you can put you can put your input on this too, but I think it's like it kind of builds character as a comedian. Like it kind of toughens you up a little bit because you're not always going to have a perfect crowd. You know what I mean?
Well, it's funny. Yes, and I think if we can draw back to the first topic we were talking about is like, what has it done? I guess, what was it like comedy? Was it done for you outside of comedy?
Yeah.
You're saying you had kind of like a bad experience.
Yeah.
It made your anxiety a little bit worse. It made your anxiety better.
Yeah.
So with bombing on stage and having not good crowds, if it's one thing for me personally that comedy kind of does for me in my off life is it helps you learn how to take an L.
Oh yeah, totally. Oh, 100%.
That's a way to put in.
Yeah.
So how I draw that to like real life is like we were talking a little bit about day jobs. off the camera, and mine sometimes pits me up against maybe a room full of people who have to present like a PowerPoint slide or something. So I found myself the last presentation I did, it went way better, man.
Yeah.
Like, so getting up on stage was like, it just helped me in my life, like in that respect, where I could just get up in front of people.
Well, right, yeah, because if you're doing like sales or whatever it is, and you have to pitch
That's what
stuff.
it is. So sales, yeah.
Okay.
So it's like,
But if you're doing that, and like, but now you've done like open mics, and you've like,
you guys can't fucking hurt me.
Let's-
I had
exactly.
20
It's like-
comments
it's
look
like
at me and not even laugh. Like, I remember telling punchlines and just be nothing, and it'd be like,
It's like I've had 20 of the ugliest dudes in Warwick stare at me for 5 minutes, not making a sound. You can't do nothing to this.
Yeah.
So
It
yeah,
does.
so I got up. I was more confident. They're getting questions left and right. Some of them I couldn't answer, but I just gave them the bullshit story, the sales thing. Like it came off great. And I remember my boss at the time was like, "Oh, you're doing better." I was like, "Yeah." So that so bombing,
Like I think it definitely makes you toughen your skin, right?
bro, because I bomb every time. So it's like my skin is like
thing-
tough, dude. Let's go.
Here's the thing. So when you're at an open mic and you tell jokes and like no one laughs, to me, like there's no such thing as bombing
I
at an
know.
open mic.
That's
because
solid
that's
advice.
just
You're not the first person to say that.
No, you're
to
not.
me,
But what you said is true, because like then if you like I said earlier, like I don't like to talk in front of crowds, but I feel like now if I had to, like if for some reason I don't know why they'd ever I'm a janitor, I don't know why a janitor would ever have to talk in front of a
Don't
crowd.
do drugs, kids.
But yeah, don't
That's
do
cool.
yeah.
I mean, before,
Seriously, when they say like just study and stay in school, please do. You'll end up like me. But you're right. If I had to, I feel like I'd be better at it now because I've done comedy. So it does help. It can help in your life when you have to maybe you have to give a eulogy or something.
Yeah,
Oh, you're fucking golden, bro. If you're gonna be like at a wedding and like give a best man speech, like I'm hoping someone other brother gets married. And I hope I can give a speech because I'm not gonna knock it out of the park, but I'm not gonna sit there and be like shitting my pants.
Yeah, you'd be so much
Because
better.
I already
at it
took
now.
1,000 L's in one week.
Yeah.
You're like, listen, nothing can hurt me.
I was at one mic, like it was 2 Mondays ago. No, last Monday, and I just went up there and I got for some reason I got nervous. It was weird. But there was like
It does happen,
there was like
though.
4 people up there. I was like so disjointed. I fucked it all up, and I was like, God damn it. But I went to work the next day, and those guys.
Crush that sales meeting.
No, I didn't crush it, but it didn't fucking matter either.
Right,
'cause,
yeah.
I already. So I think for me that's the biggest thing because before comedy, there's no way in fucking hell I'd be getting up and talking to anybody.
Right. Yeah, same.
Because when I started comedy, that's when I started sales, and because it come to a point where it's like, all right, I got to do something different because I'm just stagnant.
Dude, the
Just like
only-
such an introverted person.
The only difference between bombing at an open mic and your job is that open mic, whatever, you just go back next week, your job, you get fucking fired. You fucking
I'm not gonna
this-
get fired.
Like, hey, yeah, you bombed, so
Yeah, you gotta go, dude.
Yeah.
Well, like, oh
you have
shit.
to pack up your desk.
Yeah.
So you're
Work's
done.
cool in the sense that we have like war room type stuff where we get up in front of like our peers to practice type of thing, kind of like an open mic, just picture inside of an office setting. So that was too. But any route, that's my big takeaway for doing shitty and comedy in general, pulling it over into real life. You'll learn how to take an L, and it makes you a better person.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I wanted to kind of go back to the open mic thing and kind of mass. Barry, have you been to any other open mics in Massachusetts recently, or do you go to them at all? Or are you mainly just doing shows now?
Yeah, is that one in Kingston still around?
No, that one in Kingston.
Yeah, what's that scene like in Mass too? A little
that's
bit.
a
If you
great
have any
question.
insight on it?
I really
because
don't.
we haven't had a Mass guy on here, but
No, and I know, like, and I'm probably the worst guy to have because I don't. I have that mic doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
And I don't really hit a lot of mics in Mass because I feel like most of them seem to be up in Boston.
yeah,
Or they're not that close to me. There's no mics that are like really like something like, oh, it's 15 minutes. I can just stop in, swing in. So I really don't. I don't really have a lot of Mass friends that I do, that I do comedy with.
yeah.
That I could be like, oh, they're going to that mic. I guess I'll go. So I really don't hit mics because I feel like I really can't.
Yeah.
So what I do is I just will like write a new maybe like 30 seconds and be like, I'll place this into my bit, sneak it in there,
And then
and see what it does. Oh, I got I said a couple new things at the Pump House that I had never said before,
Yeah.
and they worked. And I was like, all right, those will stay.
Yeah, you like jot that down. You like, keep that one.
That's kind of how I've been doing it. As far as getting, because when I was doing that Kingston mic, and Brett Davey and my buddy Andrew were going every week, that's when I felt like I was really getting something out of going to open mics.
Yeah.
Because I was working, because I was trying to get my set down. I wanted to do my whole goal was to, like, I did an open mic, cross that off the bucket list.
Yep.
My next thing was, like, I want to do a show. I want to get my first booking. And actually tomorrow will be the 20th of May. That'll be official 2 years on stage.
Nice.
So
Congrats.
May,
man.
May
That's
20th,
awesome.
2023 was my first
Hell
show.
yeah.
But that was
Love
my
it.
goal. I was like, I wanna
That's
write a
great.
set that I can do in front of a real crowd. So Brett and Andrew, I would go do the open mic and then would be like, oh, how was that? Oh, should I say this or should I add this piece? Like, I was getting feedback. You don't get that a lot at open mics. So then, like,
Yeah.
if you're just going and telling your fucking jokes and, like, maybe get a couple of chuckles, that's great. But, like, what did you learn? What did I learn from that? Because that's what I started to realize when I was doing those ones that no one was really laughing at or even talking to me after. I'm like, I can just do this with my Roku remote in front of my couch, which is basically how I rehearse.
Or use it as the mic, the Roku
Yeah, I
remote?
just will, like, stand in front of my couch and I'll be
Thank
like,
God I'm not
That's
the only
good.
one that uses a remote as a
no, I
fake
do.
mic to
I
rehearse.
do that because, like, I'll be like, all right, and I say it this way. And they go, maybe I should say it with, like, this kind of inflection. Or
Yep.
so I just kind of do it by myself and see how it goes, because when I felt like when I wasn't having my friends at an open mic,
Yeah.
I wasn't getting, the whole point is to get feedback to see how things are going.
Yeah.
Does this joke work? Does it not? What could I say instead? Well, it doesn't really do me any good to drive an hour to an open mic in front of 10 people, tell my
Yeah,
jokes,
I
have
totally
no
get
one
that.
laugh, have no one really talk to me, then drive home. I'm like, I could have just done this at home.
Yeah, right. I feel
know?
like I feel like what you're saying is if it was more convenient for you to do, like
Right.
Rhode Island's got, we got Mike Pub on Parks 10
Yeah,
minutes up the road from me.
exactly. You guys
Blue
got a
Moon,
bunch.
15. It would be easy for you
Still
to
make
drive
it to-
over there. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
right.
You know
So
what I mean?
that's different. Like, if you
Yeah.
can hit a bunch and, like, because you are getting something out of it. You're getting the reps. You're getting the stage.
Exactly. I think
feel.
that's what they're good
But
for.
as far they are good for that. But as far as, like, joke feedback,
Yeah,
I
it'd be
felt
tough.
like I wasn't getting that, and that's what I really wanted. My goal was, like, how can my jokes get better?
Yeah.
Even if you tell a good joke, and if I tell one that works, I'm like, that's great. But then after, like, 3 months of telling it, I'm like, all right, I'm kind of sick of it. I need something better. I'm always searching for the better joke.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
And I don't know if I'm ever gonna find it,
Yeah.
but that's the idea anyway.
I mean, I think it's important to keep writing. And I think
Oh, totally.
you kind of touched a little bit on Rob's
It's part of my
favorite
reach
question.
here, Rob.
You got it.
I'll get that
Grab that
Diet
Coke.
Coke.
I was gonna ask you about
Part-
that.
That's
Just
a
wanted
big
to
ass
know that.
fucking Diet Coke, bro.
It's a large Diet Coke.
I'm gonna piss the sheets for sure.
Yeah. No, I was gonna say because you kind of, I had another question. I had a story about the Boston Mic. But I'll get back to that because I feel like you'll touch a little bit on Rob's favorite question. I'll let Rob. This is if you were willing to share, but like it kind of you were going to a little bit of your writing style a little bit, or you kind of your
Kinda.
style of comedy.
Right.
And I'll have Rob direct this, but my question is, do you think a lot of comedians kind of like don't like to share the writing style? You know what I mean? Or what?
It's like the secret sauce. Like,
Yeah,
you,
like-
you don't ask a chef what his
I
secret
don't know. Rob likes to ask
ingredient
that
is, right?
question.
I think it's
I'm
an honest
indifferent.
question. I mean, some people hate it, some people don't care.
I have no issue with that. I don't
Some
even
people like
know what.
Yeah, because
I
I feel like
can't
you touched
speak
a little bit on it.
I
so.
can't speak to what other comics, like, if they want to talk about that stuff or not. I don't mind, and honestly, I don't even know if I have a style yet, because I'm still so new.
Yeah.
So I'm really, I mean, I will say that I do feel like I'm a cleaner comic.
Okay.
I do pretty much clean comedy for the most part. Like, I'm
Yeah,
not
I was gonna
vulgar.
say. I was my next question. Like, what's your style too? And your
So I would say it's relatively clean. Like, sometimes I'll drop maybe like an F-bomb or something, but like it's not like I don't do the dirty shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, as far as like, but it's most of my routine right now is like I do jokes about being a janitor. I do jokes about
Dude,
being a
that's funny.
millennial and having to get a colonoscopy. Or
Yeah.
I'm working on jokes right now about because I have dyslexia pretty bad. So I'm like, I'm trying to do stuff about that. So it's just like most comics, you're just taking shit from your life and just trying to make
Yeah.
it funny. I think that's what like a majority of people do. But I don't. I would say that I don't really do it in like a vulgar way.
Yeah.
I don't do like a lot of sex talk or.
Yeah.
I know that's some low hanging fruit. It's easy to do because it's
Yeah.
I guess it can be funny, but I'm just not. I'm not good
Yeah.
at it. I'm not good at talking about like, oh, I banged this chick. It's
Yeah.
like, no, I didn't.
Yeah, right. Who do I know?
fucking-
I
no.
don't get fucking laid.
Yeah, like, everyone would be like, you liar, and I'd be like, you
Yeah.
totally got me.
Yeah.
I'm lying.
That's funny.
So
Yeah.
that's my style. I guess if that's even a style.
Yeah.
But
That's cool though. I definitely think, like you said, you're kind of touching upon like you'll slide in an extra 30 seconds. That's really cool. I like hearing that because I think everyone's got a little different way of like writing jokes or just trying new material and just in general. So I think that's really cool. You know what I mean? And I think clean comedy is important. You know?
Well, and I don't even know if that's the right way to do it. It's just like I was saying, like I don't have the opportunity to hit as many mics.
Yeah.
Because like I said, I live in like a desert.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm like, well, how can I find out if my material's going to work? So it's like, well,
Yeah.
I'll do it this way.
Yeah.
I'll just try to sneak in. Oh, I'm on this show. And it's
Yeah.
kind of low stakes. I think I can probably add this in, and it won't make
Yeah.
a big deal.
Get
You
the
know what I
feel
mean?
for it.
I don't really do if I'm doing like a funny for funs.
Yeah,
I don't really.
gotta
I
be
don't try
clean.
a lot of new. Like I make sure that I'm doing like my tried and true stuff there because like I feel like
Yeah.
I want to make sure I'm doing a good job in front of Bill.
Yeah. You sit
But
in the back. Yeah.
right. But like if I'm doing like at the Pump House, I'm getting 7 minutes. Yeah, I'll try this extra 30 seconds, see if it works. Like,
Yeah.
and that's how I try to get my feedback because I'm
Yeah.
not able to hit all these mics. But I after talking to you guys and maybe especially when I have a little more time off in the summer, I might try to hit some
Yeah.
mics with you guys and
Dude, that'd be awesome.
That'd be really
so-
fun.
Rob, you know what'd be cool? I think
Yeah.
it'd be cool if Barry came to. I think a real good group of people. If you came to like, I think Blue Moon would be fine. I say Blue Moon because we go there more often, and like
Every week.
Jimmy Roy is there, John and Steve, and then who else? Got a couple other people. I'm having a brain fart now, of course, but like Lucas Estrella and his dad Lenny are really nice. Johnny Rotten's there sometimes. Like
Johnny Rotten.
yeah, he's good, dude. He's funny.
Yeah, he
and
was
he's
there
such a
last week.
nice guy. And
I did a comedy contest.
Yeah.
Well, I was at a comedy contest with him a long time ago.
yeah, and it's just it's a good vibe. So like, if you ever want to do an open mic and you want to try some new material, we could plan it like 2 weeks out. Be like, hey, we're gonna do it this date.
What nights is it
It's on Wednesday
It's a
night. It's
Wednesday
on
night.
Wednesdays. But if we text Steve DiNuccio ahead of time, like on a week before, like maybe like 5 days before, we probably get not too bad on the list. And then obviously if someone blows it off or someone like doesn't
Yeah.
go up, you can always put your name up a little bit. But I'd be really down for that, dude. I think that'd be a lot of fun. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? But
All right, maybe I'll try to really work on this this
Yeah.
dyslexia stuff.
Yeah.
If I can get get down to 5 minutes, maybe I'll try it out at a
Yeah.
Blue Moon.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun. But I know, like you were saying, like the clean comedy. I don't know, Rob. What do you think? Like when you're writing stuff, do you just find yourself do you try to write the type of comedy you write? Or do you just find it? You just kind of comes naturally. I mean, like that's a weird, complex question. Me, I'm
It
writing
does
comedy.
not come naturally at all.
Dude, I thought me and Rob were ball busters, dude. We're
Right.
pretty. Me, honestly, I'm pretty inappropriate joke wise outside of the mic.
Right.
So it's kind of shocking to me that I'm like writing clean comedy. You know what I mean? Where I feel like Rob's a good like comic when it like for like the bar and stuff like that because he's got a lot of like, your materials like I don't know. It's just funny to me. You know what I mean? Like you got the good bar material, dude. You know what I mean? Joking about like the current events and fucking Luigi and all this stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Luigi Mangione, I can't even make jokes about him anymore. That's not even relevant, is it?
that
It was fun while it lasted. I got some good laughs at some places over there.
yeah. I mean,
And then you got the Mexican ship hitting the bridge. You saw that?
Oh yeah.
And it's like, hey, the Mexican word of the day is puta. Who put the bridge in our way? It's just like just stupid
Yeah.
shit. Yeah.
yeah.
That's an internet favorite.
Yeah. But
No, man, it doesn't come naturally to me, dude. I go both ways. Like sometimes I'll sit there and funny. And then you got to listen in your head. But I think everyone does that because I think funny stuff is funny. And then the other side of it is like life experiences.
Right.
And I think that's where you can really tap into your own originality because not everyone has the same life experience. So like,
yeah.
It sucks when you think that you come up with something like this is so fucking funny and like
Yeah.
it cracks you up saying it in your head. You're like, oh, this is gonna slam.
This is gonna be awesome.
and then you say it and people are just like,
dude. I
and you're
think-
like, what the fuck is wrong with everybody?
I get it, man, because I probably said this on another episode, but I was up one night, it's like midnight, and I was writing this show. I was like, oh my God, it's so fucking funny. My wife's still, I'm like, go ahead, we're going over. It's 1:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
We got to get to bed. I'm going to try this tomorrow. I can't fucking wait. Get into bed, it's 2 in the morning. I'm doing this to my wife. Hey, she goes, why are you still awake? I need to write this down again. Do it. I'm up. Finally, I go to bed at like 3 in the morning. I got to get up for work at like 7. I get shit sleep. I take it to the open mic. I tell my heart out on it. Nothing.
Just
It's like,
crickets.
shit.
Fuck.
So I totally get that. I'm gonna try it again on Wednesday.
Yeah,
He knows a joke that is I'm talking about.
Yeah, I mean, I
Fucking-
definitely think, hey, What was it? I think I learned something in the class. Was like you'll write a joke that's like your baby, and
okay.
then you'll love it, and then you'll tell it, and like doesn't hit or like,
Right.
and I'm like, damn, that like I've definitely had that. You know what I mean? Like my
Oh, yeah.
joke like that. But I think it's important to keep all your jokes.
Oh, I
Kyle
do.
Cody had a great point. He had a great point. He's like, listen, don't ever get rid of any of your jokes. You might go back. I started rewriting a joke that I wrote when I first started doing comedy 7 months ago, and you just never know when you're gonna rewrite it. You know what I mean? So definitely.
Oh yeah,
doesn't hurt to
I
keep it.
remember all my like the jokes that I've come up with that I just kind of like put them on the table and they don't like do well after a few times.
Yeah.
But it is like once you like I do think about well when I get better at writing jokes maybe I could go back to that and find like
Exactly.
a funnier way to deliver it.
Exactly.
Like my very first joke ever like my first open mic one of my jokes the premise was about how my dad is actually the drummer from Steely Dan.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Shit. There you go.
And the thing is, that's actually not true because you can tell that to anybody because no one
Yeah,
knows
I
who's
was
in
like,
that fucking
really?
band.
Huh.
So that was kind of like the joke
Yeah,
about
yeah,
like
yeah.
no one knows who's in it. Like you could
Yeah.
that's like you could be put like, witness
You'd be like,
protection
"Oh."
program. Next thing you know, you play keyboards in Steely Dan because no one knows who the fuck that is.
Yeah. Right.
like
That's
because
very
they're just like
clever.
this obscure band.
That's so clever.
And so it was something like that, like, but obviously it wasn't fully formed that well, and no one thought that was funny other than me. But I always think, I'm like, I wonder, well, one day could I go back and actually make that funny?
Yeah.
About like how no one knows who's in that band, even if you know them.
Yeah. I think
Like, because people will be like, oh no, and then they'll name me the people who were in the band, like, oh, fucking Harry Schmedlap or something. And I'm like, all right, like, could you pick him out of a lineup? And then they go, yeah. And then I pull up a picture and they're like, yeah, that's him. And I'm like, no, it's not. That's fucking
Yeah, right.
Art Garfunkel or something.
Yeah.
No one knows who's in it. Like,
Yeah.
so one of these days I'm going to go back and make that funny.
Dude, yes.
It's still not funny now, but one of
I
these
think
days,
it's got potential.
It's not
That's
bad.
one of these
hilarious.
days it'll work.
It's got something.
Like everybody knows Creed, whether you think they're terrible or not, but like everyone knows who the fuck. Honestly, I don't even know who the fucking the singer's name is. To be
Scott
honest.
Stapp.
Stop. Yeah.
Is it? Wow. See, I
Did
don't
we
know.
just become
Stop.
best friends?
Yeah.
Yup.
That's funny, dude.
Yeah, me and Rob are going to be going to a Creed concert now.
Yeah. Creed, dude. They're strictly. I feel like now they're more of a meme band. Like whether
Like
you like people
Nickelback.
like them or not.
Yeah, it's like Nickelback too, but we all know the hits.
Yeah.
we all sing them.
Yeah.
And when it comes on the radio, you're singing along,
Right, so
baby.
let's just
I know
stop
you are.
pretending that we don't like it.
Yeah, dude. Right? If you can admit that you like Nickelback, you can also admit that you're gay. Okay? No. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
whatever. Like I like some of the songs, at least enough to like they got grooves, they got hooks.
I won't announce that publicly on my podcast. I was just kidding. I'm
not
not.
scared.
I'm a Nickelback fan. I mean, honestly, dude, my dad made me a mixtape back in the day of some Nickelback songs. I'm not gonna lie, they're not the most terrible band. You know what I
Look
mean?
at this photograph.
Yeah, right. Yeah, yeah. So they made a bunch of good memes out of it. You know what I
Sure.
mean? But,
Right.
and honestly, dude, "Take Me Higher" by Creed, that's a banger.
It is.
God,
That's
oh
it's a
my
bop.
God.
It's 100% a bop. You
Yeah.
turn it up when you hear it.
Yeah.
Woke up on a Sunday morning, bang in my head. Oh, man.
Took some Creed.
Do you like Creed? I love Creed.
Yeah, right. Yeah, the SpongeBob thing. Yeah. Yeah, that's funny, dude. But what was I say? I wanted to just make a comment with because I wanted to kind of go check out more mics in Mass, and I wanted to do like, I heard the Boston comedy scene. People talk about it a lot. So I went to one Boston Boston mic, and me and Kyle went. He's like, oh, I want to check this out. I want to check it out. And I just thought it was funny. I'm not bad talking at all. And anyway, I just thought it was funny because it's not what I expected.
Okay.
So we go there, and it was in the basement of a bar. And then, long story short, we did the, shout out to the mic. I appreciate the doing down there. They're holding it down. It's called the Sunday Fun Day mic, and I had a lot of fun. And that was the first time I actually tried crowd work. I called this guy Ron Jeremy, and he was laughing his ass off, and it was really great. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But I just didn't expect. I didn't know. Like, I go upstairs and they're having a fucking drag show, and I'm like,
Oh, was
holy
that Jacques Cabaret?
Yes.
Yeah.
And dude, I didn't know. So
Yeah.
I have someone in my family, on my wife's side, that he's gay and all this stuff. So my wife was cracking on me and told him, and he's like, "What the hell's Matt doing there?" Oh, a comedy show. He was laughing his ass off. That's like a fucking popular drag spot.
Yeah, I've been there. I mean, I played a show there a long
Yeah,
time ago.
I didn't know, and
But-
I have no problem with it. I just didn't. That's what was funny because I go up and I'm like, "What the fuck?" I said, "Kyle, where the hell are we? We're not Kansas anymore."
Dude,
Oh, man.
I'm gonna tell you, I've worn drag makeup before.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool.
Hey man, I mean,
It was the first time in my life I felt hot.
Yeah, he's like, there you go.
You do when you wear it when you got the lashes and like the big lips and the heavy
big lips.
eyeshadow.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, oh, I know why guys do this.
You're like, this is fun.
I was like, oh shit, I'm hot shit tonight.
There you go.
So I get it.
Yeah.
But I don't know that mic.
Yeah.
But that's cool. Like
Yeah.
you tried it.
Yeah,
and-
I'm glad I tried it, and like, I would go back if if Kyle wants to go back, and I would definitely do it again. It's just I didn't expect it. You know what I mean? I didn't know. I just thought it was funny. I was like, dude, like I am totally like just not. That's not my scene. Like I don't go out to these things normally. I just do. I was just like, holy shit! I was just so funny. I was like, I walk up the stairs. There's this ass in fishnets, and I'm like,
it's
dude,
cool
and
as
I
fuck.
just see like drag queens. Everyone like, dude, what the fuck is going on? I was like, I didn't expect that. I just. I would go back if they had it or not. I just thought it was funny. There was the one interaction I had with the Boston comedy scene, and I'd like to go to see if there's some other mics out there too. You know what I mean?
Oh, there's a ton. I feel like a lot of them are like, oh, list goes out at 9:30 or some shit. And I'm like, I'm in bed by then, so I'm not making those. But
yeah,
maybe you guys will.
yeah.
Tell me about it.
Yeah, I mean,
We'll let you know.
Rob's
Send me a postcard.
yeah, it's tough because Rob's got the kids and all this other stuff. We got like day jobs too, man. Like, you were talking off the mic, like you work on a regular job too, man. So it's like I always wonder what comedians do for day jobs. It seems like a lot of people are hustling. Like when you find the time, it's a lot about balance. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've said that before, and I'm trying to juggle it myself. You know what I mean? But if you love it, you'll sacrifice some time for it.
I think that's what it is. I think a lot of these comics that hit the open mics, they have regular jobs too. I just think they're willing to push themselves.
Yeah, it's
To
how
go
much
to
you wanna
that
push
where
it.
I'm like, I'm fine not doing that. Like I'm not trying to make it. Like this is just like a fun hobby. Like if I can get to a mic, I will. But I'm not trying to like, I don't know, man. I don't know how to put it. I'm not like.
Yeah, you're not like, hey, I'm not out there to break out, and if it happens, it happens. But I'm out here just having fun with it.
Right. Right now, that's what I'm doing. Maybe things will change. Maybe in 5 years from now, I'll be like, oh, you know what? I'm going to make a leap. I'm going to try to do more. But right now, like, I am an underachiever through and through.
Yeah.
So, like, the little effort that I'm putting into this is just enough for me right now.
Yeah.
It's like I said, I only have so much mental bandwidth I can put into this.
All I'm gonna say, dude, it's fucking working because I'm probably gonna, might kiss a little bit ass here, but dude, honestly, I've watched Funny for Fun shows and stuff, dude. I'm jealous, dude. I'd love to get on a show like that, and I think and you're doing that. You do it. I see your flyers and your other shows. You're doing, you're doing it, man. So whatever you're doing is working.
Well,
So-
I'll tell you that if you want to do Funny for Funs,
Yeah, dude, I respect the hell out of it.
if you, I don't know like how much time you can do, but when you get yourself like a good 10 or 15 minutes, I would hit Bill up and say, hey, come see me sometime.
Yeah, no, definitely.
That's how it happened for me. He just happened to be headlining a show I was on.
Yeah, that's how it happens, dude. Like that's why I tell Rob, like you never know who's in the crowd, right?
He was headlining a show I was on in Middleborough. Me and Steph White were on it. And I did my 12 minutes of whatever, and it was, it was fine.
Yeah.
The crowd liked it.
Yeah.
And he came up to me after and was like, hey, like, I'd like to. So it's just like that. So if you can do it, man, just get yourself a good 12, 15 minutes. And when you do,
That's
just.
the next goal.
Yep.
That's the next goal. I was like, I got Comedy Connection, checked all this, like Fun Funds. I was like, that looks fun, dude. And because I like the what they're doing, you know what I mean? And I think Bill's funny, all that stuff. So, but yeah, no, my point is like whatever you're doing, man, it's working. You know what I mean? And,
Well, thank you.
Friggin', I want to ask Rob this too, because before we wrap things up, and I wanted to ask, well, Barry, have you ever done a roast before?
I have not. I haven't done a roast. I don't think I ever really would. It's not my thing.
I kind of would like want to do one just to say I did it. You know what I mean? Rob, would you ever do one? I think Rob would be a good
I'd
roaster.
try, but I'd feel like really bad if I got
That's the
roasted.
thing, dude.
I'd probably
That's like-
cry a little bit.
That's me too. Like I have a pretty. My self-esteem is like I don't know if I
It's
can
already
get lower.
shot
right?
as it
So
is.
I'm like,
I'd feel
I
bad.
flip myself off in the mirror every morning to start my day. Like I can't
I
have another finger at me.
I think I feel more bad like making fun of the person, not that I'm making fun of like roasting them. You know what I
As
mean?
long as it's in good faith.
Yeah.
But see,
That's
and that's why I can't, because I am very sensitive. So I would get hurt,
Yeah,
and then
'cause you know you're gonna
I
get
would
roasted
say
too.
something like wildly fucked up. Like they would make fun of like my nose or something. I'd be like, oh, your dad's dead or something.
Yeah.
And then like
But
You know what I mean?
What goes into that? Is it just like you just meet the guy, like, all right,
Yeah, I think you
let me
just like,
all right,
yeah,
buck
you just
teeth,
like talk
fucked
to
up
him.
hairline.
Right.
You're
Okay,
the
hey.
victim tonight. We're roasting you.
Or
Okay.
do you have time to like research this person, like on Facebook? Do you want to go deep, like a sicko, and
Yeah, I
like go
would
on
not.
Facebook, scroll his Instagram, see who his parents are, you
Right.
know, look him up in a database. Oh, you got arrested 3 years ago for like
Right.
indecent exposure. Like, you want to
Yeah.
go that far, like a rap battle type
Yeah,
thing?
it would be-
Like,
I wouldn't enjoy it.
how does that work? I don't know. Would I try it? I'm open to the idea.
Yeah.
But like Barry's saying, like me too. I was like,
Yeah, I think me and you would
It might
get.
hurt my feelings a little
Yeah,
bit.
we would have a feeling certain that we would say something really bad. Where I feel like you seem like you're a sweet dude.
I am a nice guy.
I think you'd be great because you'd make fun of people. They make fun of you. You'd take it in stride.
I'm so sorry. I
Yeah.
said that about
I'm sorry, but you know,
Me
you're
and Rob
fucking
would be
stupid.
like beating the shit out of the dude after. Like,
you. What the fuck you say to me?
right. So I just would not. I wouldn't have a good time. I wouldn't like it.
Yeah, that's funny.
So I just it's not for me.
yeah.
I would try it. You know, how about this? Let's go watch one, and then we'll make a decision.
Yeah, they have some
Us three, we'll hang
roasts
out one
around
night.
Rhode Island. You know what I mean?
I'd go watch.
We'll drink Diet Cokes, watch one. And
Yeah, exactly. That sounds like a time.
yeah.
We'll watch you do it.
Yeah.
There you go.
Well, the guys at work, well, this kid approached me. He's like, "Hey, man, me and my Rob knows him. So my friend Tyler, who I work with, he's actually been doing comedy with me too. But he's like, hey, man, this kid Chris is like, I want you to do a roast of me and Tyler for our birthdays. So I was like, all right, but like, I already did a roast of my coworkers. Like, oh, because once they found I was getting a comedy, can you roast us this and that? I'm like, sure. And I felt really bad saying the things I said, but they wanted to hear it. They're like, I want you to destroy me, and I'm not really like that kind of guy. So I'm like, and even when I'm writing comedy, I'm afraid I'm gonna offend
Right,
somebody.
yeah.
So I hold back a lot.
Yeah,
But
same.
I'm like, and they're like, oh, make fun of like my coworkers like, oh, you should make fun of me about like me being Dominican. I'm like, what the fuck am I gonna? I don't want.
Right.
to
What do I even see?
Yeah, I was like, I feel terrible.
Should
but
you just want me to be
no idea.
racist or something?
Sure.
What?
I was like, but hey, man, I got to roast my boss, who's an attorney, so that was fun.
That's fine.
You know what I mean?
Matt does look like if Slenderman came to life as a real boy.
Yeah, I've been called Slenderman, Lurch,
Yeah.
Skeletor.
the Addams Family, Skeletor. You know what I mean? I use that a lot to my comedy.
If you can, if you believe it, he was actually skinnier growing up. If you
Yeah.
can believe that.
Holy shit, dude.
Yeah, dude, I was.
We used to make fun of
I
him
was
because he used to
ugly.
like
I
pick
am ugly, but-
at the dinner table. He used to like pick people's food off their plates if they weren't looking.
Shut up,
And we're
Rob.
like, we would be like, oh, here comes Matt with his fucking skeleton fingers
Yeah,
picking
they're-
up. So
Fucking
that's how that
bony
was
nuts
born.
hanging. Like, you can eat that leftover piece of chicken. Nah, fuck, I lost my train of thought now. God damn it. But yeah, no, I was just saying, I always wanted to ask a comment about roast and stuff like that.
Yeah,
That's a new
I
one.
haven't done them.
But yeah, I could
and
definitely
probably
see it'd be weird. You know what I mean? Like,
That's like a whole nother thing, though, right? Like,
true.
I don't know.
There was what was it?
I guess I tried. I don't know. Just
There was one more thing I want to ask you, Barry, too. About like your stuff is like, have you ever done improv or anything like that? I thought I saw you do improv.
Oh, yeah.
before.
So I did the Improv Jones show.
Okay, so it's
2
a
weeks
whole
ago.
improv set. And that's
So-
it's a show, a comedy
So
show.
yeah, so actually Brett's on it next month. My friend Brett Davies. So the
Yeah.
Improv Jones show at the Borealis coffee roaster place. They do the Improv Jones show. So it's like an improv set in the beginning. They do like an improv deal. Then they do like one feature comic, and then they go on and do an improv thing at the end.
That's
so
awesome.
it's like a comedy sandwich.
That's cool, man.
nice.
Yes. So I was their feature comic that night. It was actually a lot of fun. The crowd was really fun. Good crowd. Yeah, good crowd.
That's awesome.
Really good people.
Yeah.
The Improv Jones folks were really cool.
Check
So
that out.
yeah, I had a lot of fun doing that. So that was really cool.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, I had two good shows back to back. That was the Improv Jones, then I did the Pump House,
Yeah,
and then I got nothing. I got a couple
Yeah.
things coming up
yeah. I was
in
gonna
a couple
say,
weeks.
You got any shows that you want to put out there that you got coming up or anything like that?
Yeah, I got a show on June 7th in Harwich, Massachusetts. That's down the Cape
Yep.
at this place called the 400 East
Nice.
with my buddy Bob Giannini, and not sure who else is on it. I think AJ Haypenny. Is that how you say his name?
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe I don't know if that's how you say his name or not. But anyway, I think he's on it. I don't know who else. But yeah, I'm doing that.
Nice.
And then I got a show on June 20th at Gallery X in New Bedford.
Nice.
That's my buddy Alex Mann is putting on that show. My buddy Alex, really good dude. One of the really nice guys I've met in comedy. He's one of the few people who said, "Hey, I'm going to put you on a show," and then actually did.
That's
Because
awesome.
I've had a lot of people be like, "Hey, I'll book you sometime,"
Yeah.
and then you never hear from them.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
I'll say that, and my buddy Brett, Brett, he'll be like,
Yeah, I
"Oh,
love Brett. He's
sometimes
awesome.
you just have to because comics are, they're weird people. You got to reach out to them, and I'm not gonna fucking hunt people down.
Yeah.
If they said they're gonna book me, I'm gonna I don't want to be like, hey, you said,
Yeah.
like,
yeah. Yeah.
Like, what am I, your friggin' dad? Like, hey, did you take the trash out? Oh, did you book me like you said you were gonna to? Like,
Yeah.
I don't have time to chase people.
Yeah.
So Alex isn't like that. He's a cool dude.
He's straightforward.
He's straightforward. If he says he's gonna do something, he does it. And all his shows, the dude fucking hustles.
Yeah.
When he puts on a show, like he's like constantly promoting it. He puts asses in the seats. So shout out to Alex, man. He's a cool dude.
Hell yeah.
So I'm doing a show for him down in New
Awesome.
Bedford. Yeah.
6. You got some mass shows going on. Perfect.
I do. Yes.
Awesome, man. Friggin' yeah. Well, guys, check them out. Rob, you got any last parting words with your celery? I can smell it from over here.
Well,
honestly.
I ripped off a piece and threw it to your cat. So now
really,
it's like
dude?
now it's like fresh. Like,
Oh, it's right over there. Maybe she'll eat it later. This fucking guy's feeding my cat with his mic. Dude.
I guess I don't like celery.
Celery sucks, man.
Celery does kind of suck.
Yeah, it's good in peanut butter, but I wouldn't eat it normally.
Eat it with peanut butter and raisins. You child.
disgusting.
Ants on a hill. Ants on a log.
All right, man. So yeah, I mean,
Nah, I got nothing. No parting words.
all right. Well, at the end of the day, like, I want to say, check out Barry. He's hilarious.
He
Got
is.
to see him for the first time at the Pump House. Appreciate you coming out all the way from Massachusetts.
Thanks for having
It
me.
was a little bit of a trip, and we'd love to have you on again sometime. Love to share the stage with you.
Hell yeah,
At
that'd
some
be
point,
awesome.
me, you, and Rob. That'd be awesome.
That would be awesome.
Come out to an open mic. You can meet I don't know if I met any of the guys that we know, but like Jimmy Roy and all that stuff. Come out and just have a good time, man. And if
Yeah, definitely.
And yeah, so catch him on the show. See you now. So it'll be in the description and all that good stuff. So, all right.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
All right, no problem, Barry.
That was fun.
All right, guys.
See you next week.